Now, welcome to this video on seed saving. I believe it's about the 7th video in this series. We are going to now look at how to actually make a seed bank for freezing dried seeds and what it all entails. It's going to be slightly lengthy. I'm going to give a lot of in-depth detail. I don't want you to mess it up because it's very easy to mess it up, trust me. And if you do, then all your seeds are goodbye, kaput, and that would be very, very big shame indeed. So, but before we actually, what was I going to do? Before we get into that, I wanted to quickly speak about the importance of actually finding heirloom seeds in your country. And I can almost guarantee you that you will be able to find some. There is a website that I created, it's heirloomseedsaving.com, where you can actually share free seeds and also get free seeds, but also on the same website you'll find a page on Seed Warden Pledge, and you don't have to pledge or anything, but the ideas are actually on that page. I'll put a link in the description and you can actually find out how to actually go about that, because I don't want to put it in here, it'll be too long. Okay, let's look at how to actually set up this seed bank. Two things. You can of course create a seed bank where you just grow every year, you know, your seeds every year from year, you save seeds, the same variety again and again, and your seeds will adapt and you will actually get great results on seeds. And what is wrong with that? Nothing. It's a fantastic way of doing it, but in case you ever make a mistake, which happens to all of us, one year the weather is terrible, happens to all of us, and all your seeds are gone and then you don't have them anymore. So what you can actually do is you can freeze them for long-term storage. So you can actually freeze them for up to between 20 and 40 years, which is a very, very, very long period of time, especially if you have a lot of different seed varieties and you can't grow them all out. Because let's face it, all these seeds will be no good in about maximum 5 years if you store them at kind of room temperatures, or especially low. The best actually is to store them at low degree dry conditions, and you should get about 5 years out of them. But having said that, we need to make sure that we actually have a storage facility in place, and there's a really simple way of doing it. So you need to first of all dry your seeds. Let me just grab a packet here. You need to dry all your seeds down to about a moisture content level of below 5%. Now, I'm living, fortunately, this flat here came along with the underground heating, so actually all the seeds are pretty dry. I don't really have to do anything. You can hear they will break. This is actually a dryness test. This shouldn't actually just bend, it should break with a nice sound. You know then it's below 5%. Other seeds you can actually hit with a hammer against a metal or something, and if they go squishy, then they're not dry enough. But if they kind of shatter, and you'll see it, they'll just shatter everywhere, then they're also dry and you know that they're below that. But how to do that? Now there is a product called silicone gel. You can buy that and you use it the same way as what I have here. I have a tray of dried rice that I've dried actually in the oven at roughly 180 degrees for about 20 minutes. When it became brown, I knew it was dry enough. And what that does is the seed that has still some moisture content in it, when you place it together with the rice, after 2 weeks, the moisture will be drawn out of the seeds into the rice, so it will kind of almost equalize. So that actually then brings it down to below 5% that we want. Okay, so the next thing, there's one more thing I wanted to say. Easy way of doing it is adding about twice as much rice to the amount of seeds that you have. Use a plastic bag or a container, plastic container of some sorts. So I'm going to not do it now, but fill up all these stockings. This is just an example. Fill up the whole stockings with rice, and then I can stick. I can put the rice in here and I could stick the seeds in with the plastic container all in one go. But as I mentioned, I don't actually need to do that because all my seeds are very, very dry. And the only reason I did this rice is, which I will show you later, I will also put it into the containers for actually storing them in the freezer. And this is an early warning sign. That's why I actually did this rice. But you can actually use the rice for that, or you can also use the gel as well, the silica gel, for an early warning system. We'll talk about that now in a minute. Okay, let's look at what kind of materials we need for storing our seeds in the freezer for long term. Actually, there's one more thing that I wanted to quickly say before we move on to that, and it's very important, is you can actually dry your seeds in 3 other ways. One is you can put your seeds in the oven with the oven door open at about 35 degrees Celsius, which is roughly 100 degrees Fahrenheit. You can kind of arrange them on trays and so you don't waste time or energy. The other thing you can do is you can use a dehydrator, which is pretty much the same system. Again, 35 degrees, and the last thing you can do is use a dehumidifier in a small room, and that actually takes out the moisture out of the room, but also creates a little bit of heat as well. If the room is small enough, it will actually also heat it up to about 30 degrees. That would actually be the best option in my opinion. But just make sure it doesn't go above 35 degrees, because that will stop the seed from germinating and can kill it as well, you know. Well, it will kill the seed and it won't germinate. Okay, so the materials we want to look at. First of all, this Ziploc bag will not work for our purposes basically, because these actually may only last up to 5 years. The reason for that is the water molecule is quite small, but also it depends on the plastic that you're going to use. These Ziploc bags are usually made out of plastic that lets through the water molecule after a while, so you can't use them for a longer time, a longer period. The best thing you could possibly do and use out there are these kind of jars, and they have basically glass. They're out of glass, so they won't let any kind of water through, and the rim on it is quite thick, so no water can actually get in, which would of course damage our seeds. By the way, what are they called, these jars? Because I always I don't know the name. I've been using for years and would just be very interested in actually knowing what the name is. Now what I'm going to use is, because these are different type of plastic, this is a vacuum seal kind of bag sealer, and what I'm going to use is these bags instead. These should last for 30-40 years, no problem, especially the way I'm going to use them. And it's a very easy system. Put my seeds in the bag, put the same amount of rice into the bag as well, stick this bag then, well, seal and vacuum it, put this then into this bag and put rice in again and do the same again. Now I can be then assured that when I put that in the freezer, from time to time I can actually look at the rice inside the bag, and if it looks like it's starting to get any moisture in it, well then I know that I have to take it out, but it's like an early warning system. You can do the same with the silicone gel. I think there's even like silicone gel where the color changes if moisture starts getting in, which is a pretty nice high-tech method of doing it, but I just want to keep it simple, don't want to pay lots of money for stuff, and I just feel this is the best way for me to go for. At some stage I probably will swap over to these guys when I get more and more seeds. Eventually I need to invest maybe in a big freezer, but to be honest, I think for you and for myself at the moment as a home grower, we only need a small tiny box, and that's what I love about seeds. They take up very little space, and that's what I think we can actually do quite easily at home. So that's all I wanted to say. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know if you have any questions or anything like that. I'm happy to answer them, and as always, thanks for watching.